Welcome back
Guys.
this week, guys.
Another week.
That's right.
All right. So, strong male leads is our theme this month. Yeah. Don't ever do that.
You can do it too. You can flex your arm.
I'm good. I'm good. Okay. So, we have a few for you.
Literally.
Yeah, a few. Okay. The first one is I Am Legend from 2007.
Wow. I forgot we watched that already.
I know. It seemed like so long ago.
What do you think?
I think I've seen it a million times. So, yeah, it's definitely about, it has a strong male lead since for most of the movie, he's the only person.
I think this is really cool. It's a revisit to Omega Man. There's probably a book that I'm unaware of that these movies are based off of, but Omega Man was kind of dumb. But he was the last. No, he wasn't the last man alive. But anyway, I think I Am Legend is really cool. I think I watched it in the theater with my friends, and this is one of those movies that is a good theatrical experience because there's a lot of atmosphere.
I don't know about atmosphere, but
What am I talking about?
I don't know because
The scariest part in the theater was when his dog ran into the building.
yes,
That was dark, and then this is your first encounter with these things, and he's going in there dark. He did a really good job of being scared, of being
Yeah.
frightened going in there.
Yeah,
Really convincing.
the dog too when he's in there.
Now, the one thing that I noticed for the first time ever at the beginning when he shows his morning routine, he's running generators inside the house.
You did mention that, and then you didn't see any place where it was the exhaust was exiting.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'll have to pause it at that screen to see if he routed the exhaust because we had an incident one time where the generator was still several feet away, but the pressure was still such that the exhaust was coming in and carbon monoxide, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It might have been one of those things you weren't supposed to notice in the movie.
I guess. Yeah, we know.
But
yeah,
this
we noticed
is
them.
end of the world zombie apocalypse style movie. So,
But they cured cancer
they did.
in exchange for other things.
You might have got rid of cancer, but you also got rid of all your brain cells.
Yeah,
So,
and humanity,
who needs that? So yeah, it's one of those. You can't. And they even say in the movie that when you try to play God, things happen, problems happen. So, problems happened, and Will Smith thought he was the only man alive. Then
What do you think was one of his quirkiest daily routines that they showed in a film? From maybe lab work or how he interacts with his dog.
I don't know if it's the quirkiest, but one that I don't know that I would have done is he would go to the pier every day trying to watch for people, like actual people to show up alive. And to me, I don't know, that would be a little too dangerous. That would be like calling out the bad guys.
He's out in the
me.
That's a good point. In Walking Dead, all of the camps sort of kind of stuck to themselves because you didn't know who you could trust.
Right.
So that is a good point. I never thought of that.
Yeah. So I don't know that I would have done that, but for him.
I'm not sure I would have set up the mannequins in the video store. I don't know. Maybe that was fun for him.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was interesting for him to see his reaction to Fred when Fred was in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Because over 1,000 days? I think it was 3 years later. So being alone will have an effect on you. You see that even when in the series that we would watch alone.
Yeah.
Even when they're alone, literally for 50 plus days, it gets to them.
Yeah, they start
So-
to act a little different.
Can't imagine 3 years without seeing another human being. That's
Yeah, so the
can't
mannequins
comprehend that.
became his humans.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a good movie. I mean, it's a good drama. It's good storyline in it, and there's a good ending. So we're not going to give away the ending. You have to watch it to find out what happens, but I think it's definitely rewatchable as we've seen it
Yeah,
1,000 times.
It
But
is definitely rewatchable, and I think it really showcases his talent as an actor because he was by himself
Yeah.
most scenes. So you really have to convince the audience because it's all on you. You're
Right.
the only one on stage.
right. So, yeah, it's a good one. Let's see, rating it. I would probably rate it 8 out of 10.
Come around.
What would you rate it?
I would give it an 8.5.
All right, so an 8 and an 8.5 out of 10 for I Am Legend from 2007. All right, the next.
Telling you goodnight.
Okay. I'll introduce the next one. The next one is The Water Boy from 1998. You picked this one.
Oh, you're right.
Good old Adam Sandler movie.
What year did you say this was? So this was
1998.
before 2000 when he was still pretty funny. His earlier, I don't know. He had a certain string of films. This one, Happy Gilmore,
Billy
and
Madison.
Billy Madison. They're all just kind of. I don't know. That's probably peak Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
maybe.
I would say.
And yeah, he's certainly the focus of this film, and with his main adversary probably being his mama.
Mama always said.
Yeah, he was good, and I actually like seeing the Fonz in certain films. Henry Winkler, because he was the coach.
Yeah.
There were some really weird moments throughout the movie with let's see, when Vicky Valancourt came over and his bedwetting was still made known and saw the bed sheets. Or,
Oh yeah.
what else was there?
Oh, there's so many. This
Yeah.
one.
There is a lot of funny stuff in here, but
So the main story was there was this guy and he's kind of socially not accepted, right?
he
He's a little off.
has a relaxed brain.
Relaxed. Good way to put it. But he's got a wicked throw, and
He tackled well. He
Is that what it was?
He couldn't
Tackle?
throw, but he could tackle.
Oh,
well.
okay.
Because you made him mad. Then,
Right.
Yeah.
And he would tackle.
Yeah.
So they ended up inviting him onto the school football team. Well, the football team was terrible.
And they did not like him because he was off of his rocker.
And he was the water boy.
Yeah.
So he was just supposed to give him, and they would always pick on him, toss water on him.
Not just any water
Just be
boy.
mean.
He had like a lab with him on the football field.
Professional water boy.
Yeah.
He had the high class H2O. So, yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, it's a true Adam Sandler comedy.
I don't know. Somehow he managed to write a pretty funny story out of this. The basic premise of this relaxed brain
Yeah.
guy getting put on a football team. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool to take a basic concept like that and make it something funny.
Yep.
And I think one of the other things I like about Adam Sandler films is that he carries most of the cast from film to film.
Yes. So a lot of the same actors
Yeah.
are in it with him. So you kind of get to know the actors
You know the guy
and
that
what they're good at.
is really hard to understand?
Yes.
Is he the dad from 50 First Dates? You think he could be? That was the dog.
I'm not sure. The dad from 50
Oh, okay.
First Days. I don't think so.
I'll have to look. He always had that resemblance, but I was never sure.
Yeah, I don't think that's the same guy. It's different. All right, so Waterboy, what do you rate Waterboy?
I would rate it 7.5 because it does have some rewatchability to it. It's funny every time, kind of like 50 First Dates.
Yeah, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. So there you have it, 7 and 7.5 out of 10 for The Waterboy, 1998. The next one, I don't know if you watched this one with me or
No,
if it was
I didn't
just
see
me.
this one.
Just Go With It from 2011. So this is another Adam Sandler movie. Still somewhat funny, but not like The Waterboy kind of funny.
It was an
It's
Adam Sandler movie?
It was.
Huh. What year?
2011.
Okay.
So it was about this plastic surgeon who how do I explain it? He was engaged, his fiance left him, heartbroken, stayed single, but pretended he was married, so he would wear a wedding ring, and that oddly attracted women, and so he would date a lot, but he would never he would date a lot, but he would never really fell in love with anybody.
Did he keep it on to try to keep other women away because he didn't want to commit?
Yeah, I guess so. To truly commit, because he didn't want to get heartbroken again.
Oh, okay. That's funny. He attracted the other women.
Yeah. So then he met a woman that he ended up really liking. And so then he said that he was getting a divorce. Well, then she wanted to meet who he was going to be divorcing to make sure that he wasn't cheating, that he was truly getting divorced. So he had to pretend then, because there really wasn't anybody.
Well, I guess that's good on that woman. She's checking that he was
and she was half his age.
An honest guy. Oh, of course.
But he then asked his assistant in his business, who is Jennifer Aniston.
Oh.
So asked her to pose as his soon-to-be ex-wife.
Just go with it.
And so she was like, well, all right, I guess I'm going to go with it. So she did. And so it was this whole thing. And they end up going on this big trip, all of them together. And then she had to pretend like she had somebody else because he had said they were divorcing because she cheated on him. So she had to bring somebody else and pretend that they were together. And it was this whole big mess.
What did she think about that being the quote unquote bad guy of with Jennifer Aniston being the cheater?
They played it off.
Oh, okay.
I mean, until the end, they end up falling in love with each other.
That sounds like The Proposal. They hated each other, sort of, or at least didn't show any interest in one another. They were forced to have some time together.
It wasn't that they hated each other. I mean, they really had a good work relationship with each other.
Okay.
So much so that they didn't realize that they actually had feelings for each other until they were thrown into this whole situation. And then he realized he didn't love this younger woman. He really loved her.
Did the younger woman happen to get together with the other fake guy?
No.
Or no? Okay.
No, because he was really disgusting and dorky.
Ew.
So he ended up, with nobody. She ended up meeting somebody else who was her age and falling in love with him. So it did have closure there in the end for her.
Yeah.
So, and there were kids involved. Jennifer Aniston had 2 kids. So there were kids in the picture. And Adam Sandler's character really loved kids, though he didn't have any of his own. But so that worked out. He bonded with her kids, and then she saw how he interacted with them and knew that they could make it and all of this stuff. So it was really, really kind of a cute movie. Still had some comedy in it, true Adam Sandler comedy, but not as much as, say, Waterboy and all of them. So it wasn't like the stupid humor.
Getting a little more serious.
A little bit. It had more of a storyline for sure.
Even 50 First Dates was a little more serious.
Yeah, so it was kind of probably along those lines.
Yeah.
There was a story.
Okay, he kind of shifted his style.
Yeah.
Over the years.
Yeah. So, let me see. I would probably give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay,
it was good.
cool.
I would watch it again.
Sounds like I would recommend.
Yeah, so that's Just Go With It from 2011. All right, and then let's see. The next one is all you. Nefarious from 2023.
I wasn't sure what this film was about, beyond the summary of this. I think he was a psychiatrist, and he was going to meet up with this criminal, and his job was to determine whether or not he was sane enough to receive a sentence. Otherwise, he would have just pled insanity and just be put in the nut house. So this is another one of those films where there's pretty much one setting for most of the movie, and that is inside a prison, one-on-one at a table. And the guy that he's talking to is actually, in this film, somebody pointed out that the psychiatrist guy kind of looked like Michael Knowles. Now you're going to have to look while I'm talking. But the other guy, the prisoner,
what am I looking for?
The cast of Nefarious. He was the lead guy that is not Sean Patrick Flannery. So Sean Patrick Flannery is in here.
Jordan Belfi.
Yeah.
Is Dr. James Martin.
Yeah, at least in the movie. He doesn't look like it there, but in the movie, he looks like Michael Knowles. and there was a little bit of resemblance there for that one scene. But yeah, Sean Patrick Flannery, as a lot of you may know, that he is in Boondock Saints, which is another great movie. It's part of our introduction screen. So there is some really good acting done here, especially by Sean. I hate it when they have to include their three names, like Melissa Joan Hart.
That's what they're known by.
Who other? Yeah, I'm just gonna say
Can't change their name.
Sean Flannery.
I'm sure he'll appreciate you leaving out one of his names.
Yeah. Well, then you got the weirdos that just have one name.
Right.
Really good acting by Sean Flannery, and because he says he is possessed by a demon. And then so that is most of the conversation. That's a lot of the back and forth, and the guy is saying, "Prove it." And then he says all of these things that are they're not prophecies, but they're things that have already taken place that he knows about the guy. And so later on you find out whether or not that is true. This movie has vibes of the movie, I wish I remember the name, but it has John Goodman, and it has who's the black actor that he was in Crimson Tide, and
I don't know.
Denzel Washington.
Okay.
Denzel Washington.
I am so bad with remembering names.
Denzel Washington, John Goodman, and there was a spirit or something involved that possessed somebody, and that thing moved from one person to the other. So anyway, it was a good film, really tight set. I mean, it was just a pretty stellar performance by both of those guys. I like those kinds of films. There was one film but a play that I watched in college called Copenhagen. And it's just two guys in a chair, and they were talking back and forth. And it was great. And there was that one film that was just one actor on stage, the play that we watched last Christmas. It was by, what was it called? Christmas with not Lewis and Clark. Who wrote The Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe?
C.S. Lewis.
Christmas with C.S. Lewis? Is that what it was? Yeah. That was really, really good. That guy did a really good job. So, a lot of respect to those actors that can pull it off. That seems to be a recurring theme with I Am Legend and this movie. And
Yeah, there's another one we watched that was like he was a dispatcher, and he was the only one in the whole film. What was that called?
it had was it no, it wasn't Ambulance.
No,
That was a bad one, but it was it had Jake Gyllenhaal.
yeah.
He was the dispatcher, and he was yep.
One scene the whole time, and it was
He's just in the
pretty
dispatching
much,
room.
Yeah, I forget the name of it,
was
but
just
that was
him.
good.
That was good. I think we talked about it.
And then that was the other one with the girl and the aliens. That she was pretty much
She was the only
alone
one
the whole time, and she didn't even talk in majority of the movie.
Yeah, and I think that was actually the girl from Last Man Standing. Wasn't she the daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's been several that are really good, and it takes a talented actor to pull those movies off.
I mean, that's it.
Because it's just them.
It's just
the
them.
eyes are all on them the entire time, so they've got to stay strong through the whole thing.
Yeah, you're not distracted by special effects or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would rate this movie 8.
Ooh. Okay.
I really enjoyed it, and I would watch it again for sure.
All right, the next one. Did you finish that one, or do
No,
we?
I
Okay,
didn't
we'll
get to
pass
finish
that one
that
off
one.
till next time. Okay, and then you guys know when I have a craft weekend, we watch girly movies, and lots of them. So the next few, I'll go quick. I won't spend a lot of time on them, but they're all Christmas movies because my friend that was there, she's now, for the rest of the year, all she'll watch is a Christmas movie.
So now, since we're watching Christmas movies now,
No,
when
we
it's
still are watching them in
December-
December, and
when
you
it's-
have to watch them
when it's
with
December,
me.
we have to swap
No.
5 movies.
No. No. This does not count towards our Christmas movies.
Not the Christmas quota.
And they don't necessarily have strong male leads either.
Doy.
A few. I mean, I told
Elf
her
does.
we had to try to find strong male leads. So I didn't watch Elf.
I'm just saying Elf would be. He's a strong male lead in that movie.
I didn't watch it. Okay. So the first one of them is called Miracle in Bethlehem, PA, from 2023. So this one was about a single woman who just never found the love of her life, but she wanted to have a child so bad. So she decided to adopt. Well, she was granted a child just before Christmas and went and picked her up. When she picked her up, she got stuck in a snowstorm and couldn't make it home. Well, she ended up making it as far as Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and that's where she got stranded.
And met her true love.
Is it that predictable? So she ended up going to a hotel, the only hotel she could find, and of course there was no room in the inn.
Did she have to stay in the manger with the animals?
So the brother to the front desk lady had a big house, so invited her to stay at his house.
And then did they get snowed in?
Her car wouldn't start when she went to leave the next day. You shook the camera.
Oh no. Should I tell the rest?
Tell the rest, honey.
I wish I could. I was just guessing. Wow.
Go ahead, guess.
That's funny.
See what happens.
Well, you keep telling, and I don't know what the next thing might
They
happen.
fall in love.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's yes.
Shocker! True Hallmark style Christmas movie. They fall in love. And yeah, the rest is history. It was cute. I thought it was actually really cute.
Remember how we've seen some movies that had a lower quality? What was the production quality? Was it like a
It
regular
was
movie?
decent, yeah.
Okay, that's good. That helps.
And I like that it was clean. It was rated G, so I don't remember any cuss words at all in it.
Good. Nice.
At all. Yeah, no questionable scenes.
Good family movie then.
Good family movie.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
refreshing.
Yeah. So as far as a Christmas-y, Hallmarky style movie, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. It was up there. It was pretty good.
Wow.
So that was Miracle in Bethlehem, PA from 2023.
Pennsylvania. Go Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Yeah. So the next one is Meet Me Next Christmas from 2024.
Who dat? Meet me at the Muni. The Muni.
Yeah, so this one was interesting.
I
It was about this woman who loves Pentatonix.
Oh, the band?
The group.
Or the group, yeah.
Yes. So she kind of had it her dream to go to the Pentatonix concert that was supposed to be coming to her town in New York City. And she was pretty much willing to do anything to get tickets because there was this guy she kind of had the hots for that was going to be at the concert. You know, along with the 10 million other people. So the chance of her running into him was probably slim anyway, but she had to get tickets. So she ended up in the process getting gypped into buying old tickets. So she basically gave up all of the money that she had.
Oh, for the wrong day or something?
From a scalper who sold her tickets from the year before. And she didn't realize it till after he had left, so he couldn't find her and go back and get it. Well, this other guy was helping her then try to get tickets.
And then he broke up with his girlfriend and had free tickets.
No.
Oh, man.
No.
I missed.
But he had connections.
Okay.
He had connections with people that know people that know people that know Pentatonix.
Oh.
And so Pentatonix ended up hearing about this whole love story thing of her trying to get tickets to get to their concert to be with this guy. And so they were kind of following her story and her journey and all of this stuff to get there. And so they kind of had the band themselves kind of had vested interest in her story. But she ended up meeting, I forget what this couple, but they were very eccentric. Very, very eccentric couple, and they had her jump through all of these hoops to try to get these tickets. And there were cross-dressers, and there was all kinds of interesting things going on in this Christmas showcase thing. And anyway, she ends up getting to the Pentatonix concert, but she ends up not going for that guy. She ends up falling in love with the other guy. Shocker, right?
Weird.
Shocker.
Did the other guy like this girl?
Yeah, they ended up liking each other through all of the hassle and all of this stuff to try to get these tickets. But
he still wasn't the one.
Yeah, he ended up with her.
Oh, he was. Oh,
not the one she was going to the concert to be with.
Oh, okay.
It was the other guy who was trying to help her get the tickets.
I see. Okay. Yeah, that makes more. That aligns with the format.
Yeah. So it had very weird scenes in it, just very out there. It would not be a favorite of mine. I probably would not watch it again. So I would probably give it a 5 out of 10.
Do you regret watching it?
I mean, it was entertaining.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think I would watch it again. Yeah.
2 out of 10.
5 out of 10. It ranks a 5.
Okay.
It wasn't awful like the ones we give 1 and 2s to, but it wasn't. Didn't necessarily have rewatchable quality either.
Oh, like that Frankenstein movie.
Oh, that was terrible. All right, so that was Meet Me Next Christmas from 2024 this year. So this year better get better for Christmas movies, because if this is the cream of the crop for this year,
I
might be going back and just watching last year's movies.
I remember we watched one and we tried to pick one that was scary because I was a fan of horror, and it turned out terrible.
Yeah.
I forget what. Yeah, I don't know. There was an axe involved. Meet me at the Muni.
So this one I watched, but I am having trouble remembering it.
What's it called?
It's called Christmas in Notting Hill from 2023.
Notting Hill.
We watched so many movies that day. They're all kind of blurring together a little bit, but he's a football star.
You ain't gonna be playing no foosball.
We already talked about that movie. That was Waterboy, by the way. He's a football star, but he had an injury, so he wasn't able to play football. And he had to have some physical therapy, rehab kind of stuff going on. He was told he may not play again because of his injury. He ends up, and he's always been too busy, too tied up to ever fall in love with anybody. And then in his hometown where he goes to recover, he meets this girl.
Is she the nurse?
No, she's not the nurse.
Oh.
And I can't remember how they met, but they did. They met, and they kind of have some back and forth of, she wasn't really a fan of him, and then he was kind of growing on her, and then things happened, and they got mad, and the typical back and forth kind of love story.
Was she some kind of caretaker or not?
No.
Oh, okay.
I forget how they met. Just maybe an old friend. It's kind of coming back. Old friend from years and years and years past. So kind of like a rekindling kind of thing, I guess.
Okay.
But he ends up falling for her and realizing that she was more important than him whisking off to go play football again. So, typical lovey-ish story.
Mm-hmm.
Based around Christmas time. 6 out of 10, I would say, for that one.
Would recommend?
Yeah, it's decent. It's a decent movie. So that was Christmas in Notting Hill from 2023.
There you have it.
Let's see. The last one is the Holiday Calendar from 2018. I'd seen this one before. In fact, I watched it last year. And it's good. I really like it. It's about this girl who became a photographer because her best friend was a photographer and kind of got her interested in it. And he ended up being a really good photographer and got jobs traveling all over the world doing his photography. So he's off doing his world traveling, and she's back in the town just trying to make ends meet with her photography, doing little side jobs here, there, and everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
She works as for a Christmas pageant thing, doing the photography, taking Santa pictures.
Yes, I remember that.
So that's her biggest job. But, her grandpa ends up giving her this advent calendar, almost like a gingerbread house looking thing. It's big wooden thing. And it had 24 doors in it, and a door is released every day, and there's a little toy inside the door that she would pull out. And
significance
every time she saw a toy that day, something happened that had to do with that image. So, like, one of the days, there was a Christmas tree.
I kind of remember seeing this
then
one.
that day, the car that had a Christmas tree on top crashed into her car, and the Christmas tree fell off and hit her car and all this stuff. So, and she ended up meeting this really gorgeous guy then. So all these different things started happening. So she thinks she's maybe in love with this gorgeous guy, and she goes about, but realizes that...
I was saying gorgeous.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
But as she's going through all of this, it's kind of opening her eyes to the fact that and her best friend comes home from his travels and decides to try to work in the town. He kind of feels the pull to come back home and to stay local for a little while. And so they kind of have time to spend together and spend more time than they had in years. And she realizes that she's really in love with him, not this gorgeous guy and all of this other stuff. That he's the one that she really cares about, the one she's known for always. And
is this a choice she had to struggle with? Did she like both? Yeah.
Yeah. And they had their moments where they got upset with each other and he was going to leave again. And she realized she didn't want him to leave again. She needed him to stay because she really loved him. And it's a really cute movie. And it's really clever how they use the Advent stuff to kind of come to life in the story.
Yeah.
So I would probably give this one an 8 out of 10.
I remember seeing this one. That's
That's
cool.
good.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So that is the holiday calendar from 2018.
Cool.
And that's all we got. That's all we got this week. That was a lot of movies though. That
several.
was, let's see.
You had your watching spree that one day.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 movies this time. So we loaded you up with some ideas there. And if you want some early Christmas, the last 4 was that for you. And 4 of them were our strong male leads.
That's what Craft Weekend will bring you. We'll bring you movies.
It'll bring you girly movies that he won't watch. So
True.
you should though. They're good.
I watch them when they're here.
Not willingly.
I enjoyed Gilmore Girls, right?
Did you?
I did.
Oh.
I said that. We have to go back to one of our lives. I said that.
Okay.
And I enjoy Heartland.
Okay. So put in the comments. Your eyes are really big right now.
My friends told me to open my eyes more today.
Oh. Well, that's maybe a little too much. You look creepy. Anyway, if you have suggestions for strong male lead movies, pop them in the comments. We would love to watch a movie that you recommend for us or that you would like for us to review. So let us know.
The more obscure, the better.
For him. Okay. All right, so check out our Tuesday movie review and Friday faves. We'll catch you next week at 9:30.